channel. I'm just gonna give a quick market update on the Qs on the SPY and Bitcoin and what I see where things are gonna be going. So let's start off with SPY because today was a very eventful day. During the end of the day, tariffs news were all over the place on Twitter, on CNBC, and in the morning there was the Fed meeting. So a lot of volatility in the markets, especially as you can see in the past couple of weeks. So where do I see things actually going? So right now, as you can see, things are looking pretty bearish until I see a candle close above this 200-day moving average. I don't think things are going to be improving. In fact, things are looking pretty bearish right now. So as you can see that if I go into the lower time frames, Bitcoin has in fact broken back into this channel that I drew. So let me just extend this, and you can see that it broke above this over here, and then it fell down. If you look at the daily time frames, yesterday we had long wicks. So on the second May candle, it's like a spinning top or doji. Then we had long leg from the upside, then long leg from the upside, and today was also a spinning top doji type day. So investors are pretty fearful that things aren't going as expected. So there are two scenarios that I see. One is that we can actually see a retest of this 50-day moving average. So just for everyone to see, the green line is my 20 moving average, red is my 50 moving average, and the blue is the 200 moving average. So all of these are simple moving averages, and this white is the EMA. Let's not just focus on that since it's pretty short term. But you can see that it might be a retest, but right now we just see that it got rejected off the 200-day moving average. The SPY didn't actually hit it, but the Q did actually hit this to the T basically. And in the broader terms, if you look at this, we're in a pretty massive head and shoulders pattern, which looks to be playing out right now, especially after we're gone like 10 straight days on the SPY. And something similar I noticed during I know that things don't actually play out as they previously did. So if you see over here, let me pull this up. So this is one arc. This is the left shoulder. This is the head, and we can also see a right shoulder over here before it massively broke down. So will things be the same way this time? I don't know, but we'll just have to see. But right now, the data is just telling me that it just got rejected from over here, and for the SPY, we could be at least seeing like 552. So that'll be the first target. If it does break down from there, then I'm seeing roughly around 540. And the same thing I see, the same structure is on the QQQ. So same as you can see going back to October of 20 or August of 2021, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And we're seeing left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And it got rejected from the 200-day moving average. So for QQQs, my first target would be 467, which is like around roughly 3% drop from here. And I don't think we're going to see new highs. I'm in that camp. I know a lot of people are in the other camp, but I don't think we're going to be seeing new highs in the markets at least like till October or November. So we might see we're not just going to see a V-shaped recovery over there. So if you see, right, the market has just been exploding upwards ever since the low on the 15th of April. It's going to have some, I think this might be a big bull rally. I'm not a bear, I'm not a bull. I'm just telling you whatever the market is conveying me right now. So first first would be 467, and by the looks of it, just got rejected off the 200-day moving average. The same exact thing happened over here, which was March of 2022. It got rejected off the 200 moving average. And you can see it did make a big ice cream bar candle before before going downwards. So it's I mean, we're just gonna have to look and see. But my bet is definitely towards the downside, especially how things are looking right now from a macro environment and from the charts. So just give me 1 second. Okay, I was looking where the arrow is. Let me see. Okay, these are the arrows. Yeah, so at least like we're gonna, at least sometime this year, I wouldn't be surprised if we come back to the 413 level and then make a double bottom over here. And then from over here, we might go up again. So that would be a perfectly valid scenario. But I think we go down before we start going up. So that's just my 2 cents on what I'm seeing on the market. Heading on to Bitcoin. What I'm seeing on Bitcoin right now is it perfectly acted this support as, this previous resistance as support, and now it's moving higher. But the same thing goes with Bitcoin as it did for the markets in general. So if you see, one thing that I'm not liking right now is that, so if you go on the shorter time frame, look how we're seeing this bearish divergence. So prices making higher highs while RSI is making lower lows. So I'm not a fan of this. Usually this is a sign of exhaustion, and maybe retail investors are pushing the price up, or this is just a sign of exhaustion from the investors. Things don't go up forever, and those people who were saying that Bitcoin held up pretty good compared to how the market did. Okay, let's see side by side comparison on that. So on the right is Bitcoin, on the left is the Qs. So let's turn on to the weekly. Okay. So let's see a price comparison. So from peak to trough is roughly around 25%, while that on Bitcoin is roughly around 35%. So roughly around 32%. So in fact, it was 7% deeper correction than the markets. And let's see how fast it went up. So from here to here is around 21% drop. 21% gain. And from here to here, it's a 32% gain. Obviously, it's a more volatile asset, but there's a lot of investor memory at this place in Bitcoin, and we're not just going to easily V-shape it to all-time highs. I think if the markets drag down, then the Bitcoin is also going to drag down. Also, looking at the dollar has been pretty much in a free crash. It was going sideways, and it's still on major support over here. It hasn't broken. If we look at the monthly time frame over here, you can see that it's pretty much over here, or it at least broke down. So it's pretty much consolidation. It's a pretty hard read on that. I guess like first bounce, second bounce, and now it broke back again. It might be going over here to around the $88 level, but we'll just have to see. Let's look at the small caps, what they're saying. So the small caps, they're basically, I wouldn't even touch small cap. This chart is not an easy read. It's basically been consolidating for the past, I don't even know, around since 2021. So if you look at this, and if you also, it did bounce off over here perfectly and a major wick, but it can for as long as it's in between this channel, I wouldn't even touch this. Especially the Bitcoin miners like Mara, they've been basically obliterated. Basically, you don't want to trade this chart. I was in this trade. I was thankful enough to and almost like sell it around the $23, $24 level, but no way am I gonna be touching this over here. The same goes with a WGMI. It's just been an oscillator, and all the Bitcoin miners. There are so many better investments out there. You wouldn't want to touch these. Look at the mags because the Magnificent Sevens because if they go up, then the rest of the markets go up. And again, they were rejected off this 200-day moving average. Same read as the Qs. So they had a pretty significant drawdown from like around 33%, and they were up significantly too, around by 24%. But again, they're similar to how it was rejected over here. It's been rejected over here too. But we'll just have to see. This might be a retest, but again, the 50-day moving average is sloping downwards. And a lot of macro uncertainty out there around the tariffs and around the rate cuts. Let's look at what oil is saying. Oil is at pretty low levels right now. It's basically been crashing. Let me extend this. We could still see oil go a bit down to maybe around the high 40s. We could see this, or mid 40s, before we actually see up. That would also coincide perfectly with this level over here. Yeah, so it basically coincides with this level over here. But this is in a downtrend. Unless we see a break above this line, I wouldn't touch oil. So there's that. Let's see what else. Let's look at Apple. Yeah, Apple basically, look, this is the monthly charts of the Magnificent Sevens, right? So Apple down, Amazon down, even though it might still consolidate over here around the support area. But I do think that the Netflix is the only one that's unstoppable right now. Netflix, Palantir, those are some of the stocks that I wouldn't touch at these valuations, especially when the charts look like this, especially when the weekly charts and the monthly charts look like this. I wouldn't. Google had a pretty down day. We might see short-term bounce, at least like a relief bounce, especially when it was down like, I don't know, like 10% today. This was a very bad day. It's sitting on support right now. Microsoft, yeah, Microsoft's been killing it basically. Nvidia, the same thing over here. You see this, you see its surrounding pattern all over the place. We're seeing this everywhere basically. So let me bring up my handy arcs. So it's basically a rounding top, and if you look at the shorter time frames, I mean, it's still in a downtrend, and it hasn't been able to break this line of roughly this line of resistance. Like it did peak above, then immediately got down, peak above, then immediately got down. So those are my 2 cents. In conclusion, what I'm seeing right now is it's at resistance. This SPY is at resistance, horizontal resistance on the short term. And on the daily, it basically got rejected off this 200-day moving average after. This is what is a pretty wild move, like going up for 9-10 days straight in that. And we should at least see 552, then 540. Nothing goes up in a straight line. I would be comfortable nibbling over here around 540, but nothing as like nothing's financial advice. But I'm definitely waiting on the markets. I'm on the sideline. I'm in total cash position. I don't have any position open right now. I'm just waiting. This also, if you see today was also basically a retest of this resistance line over here. So unless my bullish scenario would be a break above the 200-day moving average, that means the trend has changed and we're up. Anything below that, I'd wait till the clouds clear, basically. So those are my 2 cents. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Like this video if you found this content helpful. Also, my Twitter is in the description. My Twitter link is in the description if you guys want to hit a follow over there. That would be appreciated. And also, I'm going to be posting a lot of content over there. So a lot of charts and my IDs coming from where I see the markets are going. All right. See ya.